What's up, losers? Today I'm back with some more r/fatlogic shenanigans. Checking out a couple of noteworthy fat acceptance posts, sharing my thoughts on them, and tossing in a fair smattering of jokes for good measure. This is episode 136 in the fatlogic series. And I'm ready for some fun. So without further ado, let's get into it.
The benefits of being fat. 1. Being a part of the fat community. 2. We are incredible and resilient. 3. Easy to find in a crowd. 4. Belly shelf. Snack shelf. 5. Bigot filter. Screen out fat phobes with our body. 6. Harder to kidnap. 7. Decreased mortality. 8. Better cancer survival rates. 9. Strong. 10. More tattoo space. 11. Stronger bones. Less risk of osteoporosis. 12. Soft and cozy. 13. More likely to survive disasters. Body carrier more fuel. 14. Great for those with social anxiety. People less likely to talk to you or sit next to you. 15. Safety cushion. Reduced risk from falls. 16. More body heat. 17. Lower risks of cancers and many other conditions. 18. Buoyancy. 19. Recover quicker when hospitalized from COVID. 20. Being underestimated and sometimes being able to surprise people. 21. Visually interesting. 22. Improved mental health, if fat and happy. 23. Great to have sex with. 24. Increased wind resistance. 25. Really cool. Counterculture. 26. Able to hide a pregnancy for longer, if you want to. 27. Empathy, self-compassion, increased awareness, and understanding of bigotry. 28. Fat joy, overcoming fat hate, to live minus shame. Note, fat people are not a monolith. And not all fat people experience these benefits, or perceive these things as benefits.
Holy moly, what a post. That was honestly such a comedic goldmine that I don't even know where to begin. Obviously there's plenty of the standard medical misinformation that we've come to expect from fatlogic posts. But I don't think I'll go into all of that this time around. Because when it comes to this post, I'm more interested in, well, everything else, because a lot of these points are just, for lack of a better word, bizarre. First, there's the ones that are just weird self-praise, with no actual reason justification. E.g., fat people are incredible and resilient. Fat people are really cool, and fat people are gulps, great to have sex with. I kinda don't know what to say to any of these points. Because they're just, opinions. Even if I happen to agree with them, it wouldn't mean anything, much less offer a compelling reason to want to be fat. So the fact that they were included in the first place suggests that they were either running rather low on proper points, or desperately insecure, or maybe both. Probably both. Second, we have the ones that are just kinda random. E.g., fat people are harder to kidnap, and fat people have greater buoyancy. These ones might be true, strictly speaking, but I find their inclusion rather perplexing, insofar as I have to think that there are better and more direct ways of guarding against abduction than putting on so much weight that you become an immovable object. And as for flotation, I really don't think that most people are worried about increasing their natural buoyancy when they could just, I don't know, learn to swim. So once again, these points are definitely less than convincing, and I am left with the distinct impression that they are just there to make up the numbers. Finally, we have a third category of points, which are apparently supposed to be reasons why fatness is appealing, but in fact sound pretty terrible to anyone who isn't a kooky fat acceptance cultist. These points are the ones on which the post strays closest to self-parody. And they include being so fat that your belly becomes a snack shelf, being easy to find in a crowd because of how strikingly large you are, and maybe saddest of all, preventing other people from talking to or sitting next to you. If these points were supposed to make being fat sound good, all I can say is, it's not working. Like, most people don't aspire to sitting alone. with an array of snacks lined up on their belly, or being instantly recognizable for their obesity among a crowd of people. In fact, those sound kinda awful, to me at least, so if they're making the cut for the top 28 things about fatness, I'd hate to imagine what things are looking like once we get outside of the top 50, haha. There's so much wacky shit in this post, that I could honestly spend all day going through it. But I don't have the time for that, so I think I'll finish up here. In conclusion, what an absolute banger of a post, 10 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know which of the points resonated most with you. And let's move on.
So upfront, no, fat people can't just choose to not be fat. No diet or lifestyle change has been proven to have any reasonable success rate. Fatness is tied to generational trauma, socioeconomic background, abuse, disability, and so many other things.
Okay, so I have a couple of issues with this one. The first being that it is simply wrong about diet and lifestyle changes not being proven to succeed. Because it uses the same tired fat acceptance fallacy of attributing diet failures to dieting as a practice, rather than deficient individual diets that people attempt, or failures to properly adhere to diets that would otherwise work. Diet and lifestyle changes absolutely can, and will, bring about and sustain weight loss, if they are conducted properly and maintained in the long term. It's not a matter of luck whether one's diet succeeds or not. It's about doing the right things. And this BS talking point about success rates only serves to obscure that. At the end of the day, no, losing weight is not just a choice, but it is controllable and achievable through the formation of healthy habits. Something which this poster, for whatever reason, clearly has no interest in. Moving on from all of that though, I take issue with this post's invocation of generational trauma, socioeconomic background, abuse, disability, and whatnot, as factors that contribute to obesity. Not because they don't contribute. On a macro level clearly they do. But because the manner in which the post uses this information has some profoundly depressing implications that I refuse to accept. Like, just because I can recognize that someone with a traumatic and deprived background is more likely to become obese in the first place, does not mean that I am content with this state of affairs. People are not to blame for their adverse circumstances, and they don't deserve to have their life prospects diminished by them. So if someone is obese, as a result of any of the social issues identified in this post, that should not be used as an excuse to do nothing about their obesity. On the contrary, it should compel society to do more to help them overcome their issues, lose weight, and enjoy the same quality of life that their thin peers do. Because that's what real social justice looks like, not the sad defeatism and excuse-making that this post indulges in. At the end of the day, I guess we just have to ask ourselves whether we want to solve problems or simply explain them. I know that I would rather see fat people overcome the obstacles that have been put before them and live long, healthy, happy lives, but to some fat activists, it seems that this will always be a distant second priority to protecting fat people from having to take even partial responsibility for their weight. Never mind the fact that this deprives them of any and all agency and dooms them to suffer the consequences of factors outside of their control until the day they die. Sighs. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it.
5 completely normal things that diet culture demonizes: snacking in the evening, having dessert every day, preferring white bread, eating more than your partner, skipping your workout.
Okay, so I kinda struggle to respond to these ones, because I don't consider myself like the voice of diet culture or anything like that. I'm sure that there are toxic elements of the diet sphere that will demonize just about anything, including the things that this post points out, but that doesn't mean that anyone who believes in dieting of some form will hold the same views. So instead of talking about what diet culture does and does not accept, I guess I'll just share my own personal views on each of the points. 1. Snacking in the evening. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with this one, if it's balanced out with the rest of your daily consumption. But in most cases, fat people who eat snacks in the evening are not doing so in a way that is controlled or healthy. They are binging, so I can understand why there is a negative association here. 2. Having dessert every day. Yeah, I don't know about this one. If your desserts are really small, or weirdly healthy, or if you exercise a ton maybe. But in general, I think most people would be better off keeping dessert to a couple of times a week at most. As always though, case by case. 3. Preferring white bread. Yeah, I don't get this one. White bread is fine. 4. Eating more than your partner. Well, this really depends on how much your partner eats, doesn't it? I don't see what point there is to bringing up your partner's diet in evaluating your own. You're different people, it's not helpful. And 5. Skipping your workout. I think it's okay to skip your workout on occasion, but if you're skipping your workout just as often as you're doing it, that's a problem. It's not about a single workout. It's about habits, just like it is with dieting. Sarah, yeah, those were my thoughts. Make of them what you will, I guess. Don't really know how to close this one out. White bread is tasty, and I'm not going to apologize for eating it, haha. That is all. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed reading through these posts with me, and that my commentary offered some added value. What do you think? Do you want to join the fat community? Having heard about all the benefits of fatness, do environmental contributors to obesity mean that fat people shouldn't try to lose weight? What kind of bread do you like? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll make you eat lunch off some fat activists' belly shelf. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.